What's up, family? I hope that everybody is good. Great, as a matter of fact. I hope that everybody is great. I hope that everyone is healing well and feeling well. All right, let's talk about it today. Let's talk about something. Something that I realize continuously happens, and I really am concerned about it. I want to be transparent about something. This applies to males and females. It's not one-sided. I'm concerned because I realize that a lot of people are putting up with things just to say. Now, we're not going to say things. A lot of people are putting up with other people just to say they have a person in their life. Like, just to say they have a person, a man, a woman, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, whatever that is, right? They're putting up with that just to say they have someone in their life, and they know that person ain't serving them. They know it. A lot of people, males and females, like, you know what I mean, don't love themselves. I can show you a person that loves themselves. Been there, done that on both sides, so I'm not judging anybody. I definitely went through a phase in my life where I would say I loved myself, but I did not put myself first. I didn't. And when you don't do that, it causes you to overgive to people, and it causes you to underreceive and allow things to happen because you're not loving yourself first and setting your standards and your priorities. And I'm concerned because it's like I keep seeing people endure that, and it is concerning to me because I'm like, why do you continuously have males and females that don't love themselves enough to stop putting up with certain stuff? Like, I want young people to hear this. Although I'm actually speaking of referencing, to be honest, older people. Like, as a teacher, as a therapist, I'm telling you, I see a lot of older people enduring things, and I feel like as a part of the older generation, I'm gonna say like 35 up, right? We don't realize that we have the teenagers and the young adults looking at us and what we put up with. They're looking at us. And it's concerning because it's like, how are you in your 30s, mid-30s, early 40s, mid-40s, and 50s, and you're still putting up with shit you don't supposed to be putting up with, and you still don't love yourself enough to know that you're not supposed to be enduring certain things, and that you don't need someone just to have someone on your arm, and you don't have to take certain things just to have people in your life. Family, it's really concerning to me. I'm telling you, it's really concerning. And like I said, as an older person, it's like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But then it's like people are so quick to judge the younger generation, and you don't realize they're looking at you. I'm a parent, right? I have a son. I raised my nieces, right? So my biggest thing was, I'm not going to do something one way and tell them something another way. It's like, I'm not that parent that's gonna say, you do what I say, don't do what I do. I was raised that way. You know, it is what it is. You know, I ain't mad about it. Our parents did the best they could, the way they were raised and the way they felt we needed to be raised. But I was not that parent that said, do what I say, don't do what I do. I realized early on that children do what you do. They don't do what you say. That's why you're a role model. That's why they say lead by example. So regardless of who's in my life, whether it's my students that I'm teaching or my clients that I'm providing therapy and counseling to, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you something and then I'm doing something else. It's very concerning to constantly see that people are so insecure with themselves, and they're not trying to work on themselves and tap into whatever it is that's making them continue to make these type of choices. And the reason I said this is not one-sided and this is for males and females, because I actually know a lot of men that are very insecure, and that is why they always have to have a woman, or they always have to have a lot of women. And I'll never forget the day I heard a guy say that to me. He was like, a man, you know, a lot of times, this is what he said, as a man, I was raised to think that I'm supposed to have a lot of women until I learned better. He said, because what it was a lot of men in certain generations taught us that, but they ain't tell us the truth. A real man that's secure is perfectly fine with having one woman because he know he can please one woman. But when you see men that feel like they need multiple women, even telling other men they need multiple women, you don't realize it's a cop-out, because they don't feel secure enough as a man to please one woman. So it's like they just spread around a little bit here and there to a lot of women, but they ain't gonna tell you that part. And as a woman, like I said, that's been on that end where I did not put myself first in love, not just in a relationship, in family, in friendships, in a lot of things, it was because I did think that I had to pour into people and overgive, maybe to feel accepted, if you really want me to be honest. And I know where that stemmed from. It stemmed from my family. It stemmed from my childhood of not feeling that way. And I want to be transparent to you today as a 40 plus adult, because I had to go back and heal that part of me that made me secure enough to be like, listen, I can be alone. I ain't never lonely. It's a choice. And I want to say that loud for the ones in the back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's nothing wrong with being alone. That don't mean you lonely. I would rather be alone than put up with some bullshit any day. I would rather be alone than to be drained, because I love myself. Like, I know shit to do by myself that I don't need nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't. And I want people to heal whatever part of them that makes them feel like they can't feel that confident. Women, I'm telling you, ladies, feminists, you are amazing in whatever shape, size, color, I don't care that you're in. Love on yourself, because I promise you, there's a man somewhere that will love you if you love you. You ain't telling me it's somebody for everybody. I've always heard people say that, and I know it's the truth. But you have to love yourself enough to draw that love in, to attract that love. I'm telling you, it's not a lie. And fellas, I don't care how you were raised and what they told you and why they made you feel like it was okay to have a lot of women. Be secure enough in yourself to know that, hey, I can please one woman. I ain't got to run around here with all these women. Unless that's just your thing and that's what you want to do. But don't do it for a superficial reason that you've been given, because they ain't tell you the truth. I agree with that guy. And this was years ago when I heard him say that. But he's like, no, a real man know he can be secure with one woman because he know that he's good enough for that one woman. He don't have to feel insecure where he got to keep spreading himself thin and worried about being by himself, because believe it or not, fellas, that's why he doing it. And he was saying, like, I wish I was taught different. They didn't tell us the part that really the men are insecure. That's why they doing it. That's why you run around with all these women, because you always got to have a spare. You always got to feel like you have a spare, because you don't feel like you good enough as a man to please one woman and don't worry about her walking away from you. And I don't care who it is. Ladies and gentlemen, if somebody want to walk, let them walk. And if somebody is not treating you right, you walk. Don't feel like you have to put up with anything, or you will put up with anything. I'm telling you, it's very concerning, because I'm telling you, I look at the, generation that I see now, and it's like, why are people complaining and talking about them when you're not teaching them the right way? You're not teaching them that, hey baby, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that for attention, you don't have to be this way, you don't have to feel like something is wrong with you because a man didn't stay or a man cheated or whatever. And gentlemen, the same thing. I'm saying this because I'm a woman, but I raised a man. And I do feel like the way society sets things up, that men can feel more insecure than women because of the standards they want to hold you all to. And they want to tell you that being a player is better than being faithful. I do feel like as a man, he can definitely feel more insecure than a woman, because a woman can kind of be taught that, hey, you can get any man, you got what it takes. So I'm just saying, family, I feel like, especially with the older generation, it's up to us, because you have the younger generation looking at you. You have them looking at you, whether it's your kids, you know what I'm saying, your grandkids, your nieces and nephews, family members, someone that you're a role model to. You never know who's looking at you, and they looking at how you take shit. I'm telling you, they are. Tell you how I know. I looked at my elders and what they took. Yes, I did. And I did follow in their footsteps, if you want me to be honest, until I learned better, then I did better. And that's no shade against them. Everybody does what's best for them, or what they're taught, or however they see that, until they learn better. So it's like, you know, you got to forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it, family. But it's time to grow. It really is. I just really get saddened, I'm going to be honest, when I see people at a certain age. And I'm going to say women because I'm a woman, and I feel that deep. It's like, why are you still putting up with that type of shit? Love yourself, baby. And I promise you, if you tried it on the other side, you never know. You may attract the man of your dreams because you stood up for yourself and you love yourself. But that man ain't coming if you keep dealing with Joe Blow over here that's lying to you, cheating on you, beating on you. You got to take care of him and all of that, only because your self-esteem is low. Or you scared to be by yourself, so you take anything from him because you scared he gonna leave, when you don't even realize him leaving you is probably the best thing the Most High could have did for you. But the Most High ain't gonna pry your hands off of him. And men, I know some really stand-up guys, and I raised one, I'm telling you. And they really are walking that path where they are faithful men. And then I know some of them that want to be faithful men, but I see how society has got in their head and try to pin them against women. And I ain't saying all women are great, guys, but come on now. Come on. We know there's some great women out here, just like women. All men ain't bad. We know it's some great guys out here. Sometimes we just go through shit for so long that we think that's all that is. And then you harden your heart and you think that there's nothing better out there. And if you think that that's the life you're going to create for yourself. But if you, like me, if you get hurt and you heal and you able to love again, I mean, you know the Most High going to send you somebody that's going to treat you right. If you know that it's going to happen, thoughts become things, y'all. And I'm telling you, I know a lot of guys out here that are really stand-up guys and want to be faithful, but you still got society and other men in their ear telling them, nah, these women ain't worth it. They ain't shit. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't take care of them. Don't do all of that. All I'm saying is, whoever you are, ladies and gentlemen, make your own decisions. Don't allow your past, any trauma you've been through, any family, generational, traditional things that you've been taught or you learned. Don't let your environment shape you. If you want to be a great guy, be a great guy to a woman. Women, if you want to be loved, love yourself and attract that guy that you want. And don't feel like on either end of that spectrum that you have to put up with things that you know you really don't truly want. I hope I said something to inspire you all, family. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what the world say. I know it's some great people out here. Shit, I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like I'm the only great person walking around out here. Therefore, I always come into contact with great people. I'm always going to come in contact with great people. You have to think on what you want and what you desire. If not, you're going to keep on putting up with the same shit. All right, so the next time we meet, family, I hope that I said something to inspire you and just make you think a little bit. Peace and love.